The words power and leader seem to coincide with each other. To understand what it means to have power, we must understand what a leader is. So, what is a leader? A leader is a person who influences a group of people towards the achievement of a goal. The way the leader influences depends entirely on who they are, what they stand for, and how much power they have. Since leaders in the world constantly have an impact on our lives directly and indirectly, why don't we get a better understanding of the types of leaders who have shaped our lives with their power?
Al-Bashir was told by security chiefs that there was no alternative but to step down, and he went quietly.
There's Mr. Mandela, Mr. Nelson Mandela, a free man taking his first steps into a new South Africa.
Loving this country requires more than singing its praises or avoiding uncomfortable truths. It requires the occasional disruption.
Putin is really not only in charge of Russia, but gets away with whatever he wants to do.
Xi, already one of the most powerful Chinese leaders in decades, will now be able to...
There is no template for the way a leader should lead, as all of them are unique and different in their own ways. The way a leader stands out is their style of leadership. There are three basic styles of leaders. The first one being authoritarian, which involves the leader having the most power with very little power going to their subordinates. The second style is probably the one our society is most used to, which is democratic leadership. The style entails that members of the leader's group have an opinion in decision making. Lastly, we have free reign leadership. This style makes it so that the leader sits back while members of the leader's group have full autonomy to make decisions. Now that we know what a leader is and the types of leadership, let's talk about where we see leadership and power in our lives. The first and most apparent leaders are heads of government. These types of leaders are some of the most powerful people in the world. They have the power to annihilate complete countries, making their decisions highly important. While most leaders are respectful of their positions, every once in a while, we see what the power of leadership does when it's given to the wrong people, causing world crises. At the end of the day, the world leaders will choose how the world is run. Another group of leaders that have obtained greater power in the last couple of decades are leaders of the big companies in the world. These leaders not only lead their companies, but also the economies of different countries all over the world. The CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, is one of the richest and most influential people in the world. His decisions shape the tech market. For example, when Apple, which is one of the biggest tech companies in the world, removed the headphone jack on their devices, most of the other tech companies followed suit, showing how much power the company has. These big companies not only have power over other companies in their field, but they also have power over the consumers. They achieve this power by making people all over the world want their products. People line up and throw money at companies just to have the newest products that year has to offer. Overall, the power that major companies have over the world right now is something we haven't seen before. Another part of life where we see leaders are in our movies and TV shows. Almost every type of entertainment media has a dynamic of leadership in it that can be related to real-world situations. My favorite film series, Star Wars, is all about how the power of leadership can be detrimental to others. In the series, we see the power struggle between the Empire and the Rebels. The Rebels slowly try to whittle down the Empire because they feel like their freedom is being taken away. This is very much like events happening in Hong Kong right now. That goes to show you how much our media is closely related to power and leadership. Throughout all of the different types of leadership in our life, it definitely becomes apparent that the words power and leader coincide with each other. One simply cannot be a leader of people without power, and someone with power needs people to lead to be a leader. It also becomes apparent that the world needs leaders to make the hard decisions so the rest of us can live our lives in peace. To live in peace, we must have leaders that benefit our society as a whole. Bye.